Hi everyone, my name is Alex Diamond, and in this video I'm going to take you through everything you need to know to pass the Salesforce AI Associate exam. Let's get into it. This exam was the first AI-focused exam released by Salesforce. AI, in particular Agentforce, are at the top of everyone's minds at the moment and will be for some time to come. Salesforce has recently made both this and the AI Specialist certifications free for anyone to take up until 2025, so now is the perfect time to get certified. Okay, so we're going to go through 6 sections in this exam guide. We're going to go through the exam and what's on it. Then we're going to talk about the fundamentals of AI, AI capabilities in the CRM, ethical considerations of AI, data for AI, and further resources that you can use to study for it. Go through the exam guide. Now, I'll be pulling this up from November 2024. If you're watching this video in the future, then it makes sense to make sure that what's being covered is still on the exam. Unlike most Salesforce certifications, this is a lot of general knowledge. You don't need to have much Salesforce knowledge to pass this certification. I'd normally advise for anyone who is doing any certifications to make sure that they spend the time to go through every single Salesforce Trailhead badge to get a grasp of the product. But because this is more general knowledge, it's likely that you've came across some of the terms and concepts that we're going to go through in this video in other places. A lot of these modules will come up again when you do the AI Specialist certification anyway. So look, it's not going to hurt if you go through and do the badges, but don't feel that you need to do them to pass this exam. I would suggest that you do the ones that come up on the AI Specialist certification when you're going for that exam. For this exam itself, you need a mark of 65% to pass. So you need 26 marks out of 40. There's only 3 answers per question, so you'll have a pretty good chance of getting it right. Especially if you can eliminate one wrong answer, which brings you to 50% of the time. So, if there is a question that comes up on the exam that you've got no idea what the right answer is, just spend some time to try to eliminate what you think the wrong answers are. There are 4 sections on the exam. The first is AI fundamentals. In this, you need to explain the basic principles and applications of AI within Salesforce and differentiate between the types of AI and capabilities. The second is AI capabilities in the CRM. Now, this is worth only 8%, so it's the smallest section of the exam. In it, you need to be able to identify CRM AI capabilities and describe the benefits of AI as they apply to the CRM. That CRM is Salesforce. Ethical considerations of AI, you need to describe the ethical challenges of AI, for example, human bias in machine learning, a lack of transparency, etc., and apply Salesforce's trusted AI principles to given scenarios. So one of the things I would advise anyone to learn before they sit this exam is Salesforce's trusted AI principles, and we'll go through those in depth in this video series. Ethical considerations of AI is the highest weighted section of this exam and is worth 39%. So definitely learn those trusted AI principles. Finally, we've got data for AI, which is describing the importance of data quality and describing the elements and components of data quality. Okay, section 1 of the exam is AI fundamentals. And in this section, you're going to be asked to explain the basic principles and applications of AI within Salesforce and differentiate between the types of AI and their capabilities. We're in the early days of AI, but it's moving incredibly quickly. If anyone sort of looks back at AI in 2020 and where it's came, there's no doubt that it's moving at a rapid pace. When you think of AI, you're probably thinking of what you see in the movies. So the Terminator movie, you have the Terminators themselves and Skynet. The Terminator, let's say it's at a similar level of intelligence to humans. This is an example of artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence is when AI is at a similar level of intelligence to humans. You've also got Skynet in the Terminator movies, and that was smarter than humans, much smarter. It invented a way to send the Terminators back in time. So Skynet is an example of an artificial superintelligence. We're a long way from artificial general intelligence and artificial superintelligence. Some predictions are sort of putting it at about 40 years away before we reach artificial general intelligence and not long after before we reach an artificial superintelligence. What we're talking about when we talk about AI today is artificial narrow intelligence. This is where we use it for a narrow range of uses, as the name would suggest, and give it a particular set of prompts to generate an outcome that we're focused on. So there's several different types of AI. You've got predictive AI, which is where it's making predictions based on data, something like Einstein lead scoring or opportunity scoring. Analytic AI, when it's used to analyze something, so Einstein forecasting or call insights. And generative AI, when it's used to generate text or images, such as ChatGPT, Agentforce, or Copilot. There's a glossary of terms that Salesforce has put together surrounding AI, and I would encourage anyone to read through it. We're going to go through some key terms to remember here as well. So you've got natural language processing, or NLP, which is a field of artificial intelligence that combines computer science and linguistics to give computers the ability to understand, interpret, and generate human language in a way that's meaningful and useful to humans. Computers don't understand all the nuances of data that humans do, so they need to parse this data to understand it. So parsing, when we talk about parsing, is breaking the input data down into smaller chunks that the NLP can classify and thus understand. An algorithm. So that's turning an input into an output via a series of rules, such as, maths, 1 + 1 = 2. The algorithms used by AI can be quite complicated. Structured data. Structured data is data that's structured in a clear way. So I think spreadsheets are a classic example, or CRM objects. Unstructured data. So this is data that isn't structured in a particular way and isn't ready for classification. Unstructured data might be a website or an image. Machine learning. It's a way to have computers learn from data with minimal programming. Instead of writing code, you feed a machine data and it builds its own logical function based on this data. Neural network. A machine learning model that makes decisions in a similar way to the human brain. It uses maths to analyze many different interconnected data points. Generative AI. You're using AI to generate something based on a prompt: text, image, videos. It's going to be a summary, a prediction, a translation, anything. And this is where a lot of people go to when they think of AI today. You've also got computer vision or robot vision. So that's where you're analyzing an image using AI. This could be used to scan and classify documents. And we're also seeing it being used for things like medical imaging to analyze brain scan terms. AI capabilities in CRM. So in this section, you're going to identify the CRM AI capabilities and describe the benefits of AI as they apply to CRM. This section's worth the least amount of marks. When you're thinking about this section, also think Einstein, because the exam was written before Agentforce became Agentforce and also before Copilot was talked about a lot. There's many different types of AI that exist within Salesforce. So you've got predictive AI, which is used to make predictions based on data, such as Einstein lead scoring or opportunity scoring. Analytic AI, which is used to summarize something, so forecasting or call insights. Generative AI, used to generate text and images, such as ChatGPT, Agentforce, Copilot. AI assistants, which can be voice or natural language based. Einstein functionality, which is embedded in various Salesforce apps like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, can help businesses to discover new insights, predict the outcomes of things based on past data, recommend next best actions, automate routine tasks, and also generate tailored content like an email or code. This can be helpful to many different business areas. So for sales, it can help you to better understand customers, leading to an increase in conversions and sales. Agents also know who to spend time focusing on and can use generative AI to get a summary of the account, generate a close plan, generate a follow-up email. Call coaching is available, which we'll go into in a bit more detail in the AI specialist exam. Service, you can use AI to decrease response time through AI assisted service channels, case classification, field generation, and response generation. You can use AI for marketing to write emails and improve email open rates with Einstein send time optimization. You can use it to generate segments, analyze campaign effectiveness. You can also use it to work out who might be getting fatigued by the amount of emails you're sending them and actually pull back on the number of messages that you're sending to them as well. For Commerce Cloud, you can use it to increase revenue by showing people the best products for them or the products that they're most likely to buy. You can also use it to generate product descriptions and personalized search. Let's talk about some of Salesforce's AI tools. You've got Einstein bots, so don't confuse this with Agentforce. Einstein bots allow you to build a smarter system in channels including chat, messaging, and voice. They focus on routine inquiries like password resets and providing status updates to improve response times while also reducing the need for additional staff. If a chatbot can't resolve an inquiry, then the customer can also be directed to a real agent. Einstein Prediction Builder. This is a simple point-and-click wizard that allows you to make predictions on your non-encrypted Salesforce data. You can get this in the form of a binary classification, e.g. yes or no, or a number figure, such as lead scoring, where it's on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 being great and 0 being terrible. Next best action helps your sales and service teams predict the next best action to take based on what worked for other accounts and cases. So it's looking at your case and account data and then working out based on that what other people did and what worked and what didn't work. Einstein Discovery helps you to analyze data, and Einstein Generative AI such as Agentforce or Copilot is used to generate a field, summary of an object, and emails in a similar fashion to ChatGPT. Ethical challenges of AI. Let's talk about the ethical challenges of AI, which is a big section on this exam. So you'll be asked to describe the ethical challenges of AI, for example, human bias in machine learning, a lack of transparency, etc., and also to apply Salesforce's trusted AI principles to given scenarios. So AI can only spit out answers based on the data that it's being trained on. Data sources are often biased, for instance. People might have only been looking for certain things when they created the data set and captured the data set. The sample might be representative of only a particular group or trait and not the wider population at large. The data might be sourced from the internet, which is full of people's biases. When you're looking at data, it's important to prioritize intent over demographic attributes. So, for instance, you might be targeting ads to a specific interest group as opposed to an age group or a geographic region, and that helps you to eliminate bias. Responsible use of AI means trying to eliminate any potential bias in the data before releasing it into the wild. It's also about using AI responsibly. So does what you are creating have the potential to cause harm? And if so, how can you mitigate that risk? You shouldn't falsely represent AI as a person. People should give consent for their data to be used and know what it's going to be used for. They should also get a clear benefit from the use of their data. Ultimately, you don't want AI to come off as intrusive or manipulative. You want it to be something that gives people value. This next slide, we're talking about Salesforce's trusted AI principles. I want you to remember these because you will get a whole heap of questions about these on the exam, and this is one of the few things that you do need to memorize to do well at this exam. Salesforce's trusted AI principles, the acronym you can use to remember them is RATEI, R-A-T-E-I, responsible, R, accountable, A, transparent, T, empowering, E, inclusive, I, RATEI, responsible, accountable, transparent, empowering, and inclusive. One of Salesforce's trusted AI principles is that it is responsible, so safeguarding human rights and protecting the data that we're entrusted with. Accountable, seeking and leveraging feedback for continuous improvement. Transparent, delivering a transparent user experience to guide users through machine-driven recommendations, being transparent about how Salesforce is building its AI. Empowering, promoting economic growth and employment for our customers, their employees, and society as a whole. Empower our customers to use our AI responsibly. And inclusive, respect the societal values of all those impacted, not just the creators. I'd encourage you to read this blog article as well, Meet Salesforce's Trusted AI Principles, because it'll help to give some more context behind the Trusted AI Principles as well too. Okay, so data for AI is another big section. It makes up 36% of the AI associate exam. There are two components to this. One is describing the importance of data quality. The other is describing the elements or components of data quality. Let's talk about some of the data considerations for AI. So again, this is something that is worth memorizing. So talking about this here, there's an article I've linked to as well. But from it, you've got the age of data, the completeness of data, the accuracy of data, consistency of data, duplication of data, and the usage of data sets. So let's go through each of those now. The age of data. When was the data last updated? When was it gathered? Age is a key consideration here. Old data is likely to be skewed or may not be reflective of the current situation. Completeness of data. Are key data needed for a model present on all records? So a good thing to think about here is how often are the fields filled in. If you're using AI to analyze industry, for instance, you would need that industry field on the account to be filled out in most places for it to be considered complete. Accuracy, is your data accurate? Is it from a trusted source? do you trust the source of your data? Consistency is the formatting, spelling, and language consistent across all records. Duplication, you may have duplicate records in your data, which is going to skew the data as well. And usage of data sets. Is your data being used for anything, or is it being just entered into the CRM? So you want to make sure that the data that you're analyzing is intended to be used. You're not just capturing a whole heap of data points that are going to be useless and aren't going to be used by you. Look into data. You can use the Data Quality Analytics Dashboard app to audit data quality in Salesforce. Now, this is something that's available on the App Exchange. Let's talk about data biases now as well, and there's another blog article that I'll link to here. Data bias. To determine if data is biased, you can look at where the data was sourced, where it comes from. Is it first or third party? Is it being filtered? Is it being categorized and labeled? Is a human involved in categorizing and labeling that data? And if so, would they be biased? When was the data captured? So how fresh or recent is your data? Older data can lead to inaccurate answers. You can also think about who the data represents. So is it representative of all of your customers and users, or are you just using a subset of data? Is there more data in one group than another? Are you getting information about different people in the data set? So certain types of data can introduce biases such as race, ethnicity, country of origin, gender, age, sexual orientation, religious or political affiliation. You've got to ask yourself, does it make sense to include these in your model? And also, are there proxy values there, like postcode, which can skew based on income? Data leakage. So this is an interesting one. And what we're talking about here is the data point coming after use. So, for instance, rain and umbrella sales. An umbrella sale isn't a good indicator that it's going to rain, but it is more likely to occur after rain, whereas rain would be a good indicator of umbrella sales. So you've just got to sort of understand that correlation may not mean causation in all cases. Further resources. I'm now going to bring up some links that'll be in the comments of the video as well, that you can also use to help study and prepare for the AI Specialist exam. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video.